Hello, beautiful people of YouTube. As you can probably see from the title, today we are going to be talking about the things that guys do that make you want to say, "Thank you, next." So I talked 2 episodes ago about the difference between being selfish and selfless. And this is a time to be selfish. No one is going to protect you like you. No one knows you like yourself. And no one's going to be looking out for you. So it is totally okay and appropriate for you to voice those things that you feel you need to say. People will call you cruel because you're honest. And to that, I'm like, okay. Like, listen, if you want to get offended and upset because I'm keeping it real with you, then you're not the type of person that I really want in my life anyway. So let's get real for a minute. Anyone who's single and in the dating environment today knows that it's rough. Now listen, I'm not out here actively searching for anyone. I'm secure and comfortable enough in myself to be single. But all my girls out there, you know how it goes. The boys start sliding in your DMs. You're just chilling. You're like, okay, like you seem like a cool person. You ain't got no problem meeting new people. So you're like, cool, like let's get to know each other. Let's meet up. You know, things are casual. You ain't caught up. You ain't got no feelings or anything like that. So you're just, cool with it. But things can go from casual to frustrating real quick. Men, I am going to try to help you out here, so pay attention. This is not just for the ladies. Listen, as a female, the first thing we want to know are your intentions. So here's a little tip for you, fellas. If you are texting a girl for the first time, maybe, just maybe, it's not the smartest idea to send her a message between the hours of midnight and 4 a.m. Because guess what we think your intentions are? Just think about that for a minute. Secondly, guys, if we say we just want to be friends, most of us at least actually mean it. I can tell within the first couple times of meeting someone if I'm interested in them or if we should just be friends. I have standards and expectations, and sorry if I don't think you meet them. Actually, I'm not sorry because listen, male, female, anything in between, it doesn't matter. If you ain't feeling someone, you ain't feeling them. Can we just respect that of each other when someone says to you that they just want to be friends? Be mature enough to know that you have feelings for that person and that's totally fine and normal, but maybe it's not the best idea to try to continue a friendship with them at least right away because of those feelings. It's just gonna cause more pain and more trouble in the long run, and the friendship isn't gonna be that good anyway because one person has feelings for the other and then they're not reciprocated. This is one of those times in life where you need to be selfish. You should not feel intimidated or scared to be real and honest with someone. It is so much better to just be open about what you're thinking and what you're feeling and where you're at with the other person, so there's no miscommunication or missed signals or anything like that. Everything's clarified, and that's the best way to go about it. Another thank you next moment is when I agree to meet up with you and then you don't show up. Whether your excuse is valid or not, if you were really that interested in me, then you would take more of an effort and more of an initiative to correct the situation. Like, don't text me and be like, hey, I want to make it up to you. No, be like, hey, I'm so sorry. I know how this must make you feel. I'd really like to make it up to you. Would you like to meet me at this place at this time? I would enjoy your company. Now, before you guys out there start, getting all huffy and puffy, just think for half a second about what message you would rather receive. A quick, 5-word text message that is kind of like, oh, like, yeah, sorry, I messed up. Or like, hey, I'm genuinely sorry, I messed up. Can you please give me another chance? I'd enjoy getting to know you. Something along those lines, fellas. Just think when you're sending these things, what text you would want to receive either the first or the second, and most of you would probably choose the second. But because this isn't a perfect world, guys will send you the first text, you'll leave them on read, and then they'll be confused. Like, boy, if you would have put half the effort into that text message that you put into playing Apex Legends, then maybe things would have worked out differently. And another thing, what is it with all you guys wanting to video chat? Listen, when I say like, oh, we should talk on the phone, call me old-fashioned, but that's what I literally mean is talk on the phone. Listen, I'm an ugly little duckling laying in bed, my lights are off, you can't see me anyway. Why do you want a video chat? Boy, pick up the phone and call me like your name is Alexander Graham Bell. All these things that guys are doing are just making us girls want to say thank you next. Inevitably, as females, we cannot win. It is not just on, you know, the male front, but it's also when you're coming out of a relationship, there's really like no winning in terms of how people are going to view you and your decisions. Inevitably, as females, we cannot win, and not just on the front of, you know, how guys act or, you know, treat us, but also when you're coming out of a relationship, there's no good way to get back into the swing of things, if that makes any sense. So, you know, you go on a date and people are like, oh, she's moving on too fast. You stay emotional for 4 months and you don't talk or see anyone new, then it's like you're not moving on at all. So literally there is no winning. So this is why I say, do what you feel that you need to do in the time that you need to do it. People will make their judgments, have their assumptions about what's going on, and they have no right to. Everyone is going to heal at a different pace, and everyone's going to need different intervals of time to adjust. So like there's no set schedule where it's like, oh, you know, 8 months after you come out of a relationship, that's when you can go on your first date. That doesn't exist. There's no rule book. So you're not gonna know if you're even ready to talk to new people until you do it and you have that experience. And then you can be like, hey, like this really isn't good for me still at this point. And it doesn't matter how long that takes you because everybody's different. So to everyone out there who has just come out of a relationship, do what you feel you need to do. And to everyone else around them, don't think that you know everything just based off of some things that you see or hear. If you're really curious, the best practice is to just ask them directly. Okay, y'all, so that wraps it up for me on this video today. And I'm sorry I don't have a quote for you, but pretty much, you know, the whole Thank You Next song, whole Thank You Next album is, you know, a quote enough. So if you haven't listened to it, I'm sure you all heard the song at least, but yeah, please feel free to comment anything and everything right below this video. Also be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and popping up on your screen is my social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you follow me. And yeah, to all my ladies out there, good luck, girls. Just keep saying thank you next. And to all the fellas out there, maybe try to do things that, you know, don't encourage females to say thank you next. So with that being said, have great weeks, everyone, and I will see you next time.